is the Rangers Journal Night.
Hello and welcome everyone to the Rangers Journal. You join us for a special episode as we welcome to the Rangers Journal, Luca Bendoni. How are you, Luca?
Very good, guys. Good to see you. How are you doing?
We're very well. Ryan's also joins us for the pod this evening. Ryan, how are you, mate, this evening?
I'm doing fine, mate. Doing fine. Unusual for me to be available on a Saturday night. Usually get more. But I couldn't be happier to be here.
I'm like yourself, mate. I'm not usually available on a Saturday night, but there was a very special reason that we're here to speak to Luca. Luca, thank you very much. We're here to talk about Turgeman. Hopefully I've pronounced his name correctly. But before we go into that, please can you tell people a little bit about yourself, what you report on and where you're working at the moment?
Surely. So I'm a journalist based in Italy. I work mostly in the transfer market, and I'm collaborating with Sky Sport, especially on Italian transfer market, but I do happen to have some international news. So as in this case, I provided it and I checked it with our partners at Sky Sports UK. So everything is double checked on both sides. And yeah, so I happen to have some news about Turgeman linked to Rangers, and that's why I'm here basically. So that's it, guys. Pleasure to be here.
Well, we don't want to hold you back from telling us this good news. So can you give us the latest in what you know of the Turgeman transfer?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, we know that Rangers are negotiating for two outgoings in the striker position. There is Igamane, who is in talks with Lille, and there is Dessers, who is of interest at Athens, basically. AEK Athens. So the situation is that at this stage, Rangers have identified Turgeman as one of a short list of potential candidates to replace one of the two as soon as one of the two leave. So we could see Rangers move for Turgeman as soon as one outgoing is completed. There are no concrete developments at this stage because, of course, there is wait until the outgoing is firstly completed. But we know that the player would be keen on joining Rangers and that personal terms would not be an issue for him to join Rangers. He would be keen on the move, and we understood it with direct sources, basically. So very reliable sources tell us that personal terms would not be an issue. The only thing Rangers would need to negotiate is about a fee and a sell-on clause with Maccabi Tel Aviv, who own the player, and they want to keep a sell-on clause. So this will be the key of the negotiation in case Rangers decide to accelerate for Turgeman. At this stage, there have been no formal contact between the two clubs, as Rangers are waiting to complete the outgoings, as we said. But the moment Igamane or the Sers or both are completed as outgoings, Rangers could move for Turgeman, that we understood is on a list of candidates. So if he is the choice, which might be the case, and that's why we reported, because we know he's a name of interest, then there will be a negotiation officially between Maccabi and Rangers.
No worries. Ryan, do you have anything to ask at the moment?
No, probably just the first one. So obviously Turgeman is one of many that Rangers are looking at just now. Is anyone else looking at Turgeman apart from Rangers? Is there any other clubs interested in?
Well, there is some level of interest, but as we understand, the most keen club on him at this stage of the market, we are still in an early phase of the market. There have been not so many official transfers yet. The market is going quite slow this summer, also due to the Club World Cup and many other reasons. But at this stage, Rangers is the most interested club, we should say, about Turgeman. Then, of course, other clubs may move. He's a very interesting talent, for sure. Other people know him more than me, other scouts. I'm not a scout. I'm not a proper, I do watch football, but I'm not a proper Turgeman connoisseur, So I wouldn't, I limit myself to tell you if he's going or not to Rangers. And at this stage, I feel Rangers are very interested in this profile, and the player would be very interested in joining Rangers. As he's high on the list of Rangers, he's on the list, but he's high on the list in case they decide to go for him.
We've had reported, probably from yourself, would have seen these reports, Luca, that the fee of around about £5 million has been talked about. In your opinion, is that an accurate, rough idea of where the transfer fee that Maccabi would be interested in?
Yeah, we understand that the fee Maccabi is looking at is basically in the region of £5 million. We have been told it would not be less than 4, not more than 7, so the range should be 5. But of course, it's a very wide range at this stage because there have been no negotiation. Of course, if Maccabi receives 10 proposals for Turgeman, he will go higher. If they receive 1 proposal, he will go lower. Of course, that's basic of negotiation. Maccabi are tough negotiator, but they understand, from what we know, they understand it's the right moment for Turgeman to leave the club and to explore European football in a maybe bigger championship, like could be the Scottish Championship, maybe explore also the European international football, and so move on, for example, to Rangers. And so they already signed basically his replacement. They signed a striker for 1.5 million euro. That is not a very common, deal in Israel to pay 1.5 for a player, for a player that would not be the replacement of one who leaves for much more money. So at this stage, they understand that Turgeman should leave in this window, and the range would be around £5 million. Then there have been no official offer. There have been nothing concrete between clubs. So we have to wait to understand the correct fee. I just put £5 million to give a range, not specific, but it may be 4, it may be 6, but something in this range in terms of £1 million. Then another key, as I said, will be for sure the sell-on percentage, because Maccabi know that the player is good. They know he has potential to become an internationally affirmed player, and so they would like to keep a percentage on his future sale. And this will be also another topic of discussion if Rangers decide to open a negotiation for him.
Are you aware of other clubs at the moment? I'm not asking for any names, but do you know of any other clubs that are interested in the player?
I'm not aware of it at this stage.
No.
We know that also Italian clubs look at him in the past. Other English clubs, for example, from Championship, look at him in the past. But it's not the case at this stage. As I know, I'm told that Rangers is the most interested team at this stage. So that's the situation.
I realise you're not an Israeli reporter, you're more to do with Italian football, but what was a worry for me when I seen the links to Turgeman was the situation politically in Israel at the moment. Is there any indication that the teams in Israel would want to hold on to the players just with finding it hard to get new players into a war zone, basically?
If you're asking about the political situation, I'm not aware of particular issues, and I don't think they've been discussed at the current stage of talks. So.
No problem. Ryan, if you want to come in with anything at the moment?
Yeah, Luca, you'd mentioned that personal terms wouldn't be a problem for him. Is there a salary expectation on how much he's going to be looking to be paid per week or per year?
I got told that money would not be a problem, so I think he would go on a normal salary for Rangers, but I do not have specific ranges as they didn't even start negotiating it. But he just wants a good project for him, and he would appreciate Rangers' project because he saw how youngsters can develop in Scottish football, and also the window of visibility you have towards, for example, the Premier League or other big championships, to get there. So he understands that Rangers would be a good project for his development, and in case they decide to go for him, we understand that he would not make issues about his salary, about money or whatever. The key of negotiation will be the fee, and especially the sell-on clause, the sell-on percentage.
Yeah, that's understandable. That's much the model we're now starting to follow. When we sell a player on, we look to try and obviously add that in. Now it's very much the modern way of doing things. Do you believe the player is ready to move abroad? Has he started? How is his grasp of English? We have had several situations at Ibrox where we have had players coming from abroad and they just aren't ready to be in England or be in Scotland or Britain. That we had one come from America last year, an Ecuadorian international who came and told us it was too cold in Scotland and left pretty much straight away. we have had instances where it's maybe taken 1 or 2 seasons for players to actually, get used to being in the country before they're ready. Has Turgeman, does he have a grasp of English? Has he got things ready to go that he'll be
I don't know.
to...
I don't know about his English language, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm not following that much to know it, but if you want, I can ask, and then I will provide you with an update. But jokes apart, I think footballing wise, he would be ready to get a new step at least, and everyone has understood it, including the club who owns his rights. So Maccabi has understood that Turgeman may leave this summer because it may be the good moment for him. He is scoring for Israel, and he has always been scoring for the youth national team, for example. He has done good championships on repeat in Israel, and so it's the right timing for him to move and to explore international football outside of domestic football. And I feel Rangers would be a good project for him, but it's just my personal feeling. Then we will see then if there is an actual negotiation, and then we can say more, because now we are making a podcast out of basically an interest, because that's an interest at this stage. There is no negotiation and there is no bid. It's correct to speak about this because it's something that, of course, may develop into something very hot and concrete, but it's not yet, because Rangers need to sell. The talks for the 2 sales are going on. We are waiting for developments. And as soon as there will be development, we will understand if Rangers will go on Turgeman or on other players that are on the list, and we are not yet aware of the names.
Look, if I can ask you possibly, when you look at players like Igaman coming to us last season for a relatively small fee and now being linked with Lille for about 17 million euros, is that something that players all around Europe would look to? Maybe Scotland isn't a place that you'd initially want to come to, but you can look at coming to us for a season and getting a transfer, into double figures in the millions the following season. Is that something that maybe makes Rangers an attractive place to come now?
Rangers and in general Scottish football is a good window to get you more visibility. Many players have passed and then joined Ligue 1 clubs, like could be for Igamane, Premier League clubs, especially Bundesliga clubs. Also, Italian clubs now are buying Scottish. Now they love Scottish players. You see Scott McTominay, of course, he was not playing like the last season in Scotland, but okay, Italian clubs love Scottish players. Ferguson, Tierney over the past, Gilmore. So Scottish football is attractive today, as of today. Also in Italy, everybody loves Scottish players. So I think the Scottish Championship is a good window to get you a move, but it's also a good championship in terms of passion and in terms of football. As you see, I do like covering the big Scottish clubs because the fans are passionate. So it's something that we enjoy.
And if I'm understanding correctly, on the Maccabi side of things, they're not waiting to sell anyone to let him go. Is that correct?
Sorry?
Maccabi Tel Aviv are not waiting to sell anyone. They're not in the same position Rangers are, that we're looking to sell 2 players before we can buy.
No, they maybe they would have bought one to sell him, but they already bought him. So that's the situation, They're ready to sell at the right proposal. Of course, he's not on sale. He's not for sale. They would be very happy to keep him. He's the star of the team, for sure. But they understand it would be a good moment for him to move. So in case a good offer comes, they then will consider it and maybe agree a fee.
And regarding his personality, do you feel he's able to carry the weight of being the Rangers' top striker? Because that's quite a demand on players. We see players like Cyril Dessers struggle really with that pressure. And he's an experienced player.
Yeah, we saw him also in Serie A, Dessers. Well, I don't know Turgeman that well to be honest to tell you about his personality. So I feel maybe an Israeli insider would be best to explain, the situation.
No worries. Well, look, you gave us 20 minutes of your time. I'll cut back to Ryan and ask if he has any kind of final questions for you before you need to leave.
No, just kind of opening it up, please. Look, so obviously you mentioned you like to cover, Scottish football, the big clubs in Scottish football. Is there anyone else that you're aware of that Rangers might be speaking to at the moment apart from Dor?
Sorry? Any other names?
Any other names that Rangers might be looking at? Obviously, you cover, Italy, Italian side of things.
Yeah,
as
I
well.
do cover Italian football, so I'm not aware. But
Yep.
if I hear some names and we get it confirmed, because I'm not speaking just from rumors, we're speaking about concrete interest or concrete negotiation and everything else and developments about this, I will, of course, provide
Go away.
updates and yeah, I will call you. Yeah,
Thank you.
I'll be back here, hopefully.
Thank you very much, Luca. Well, in preparation for you coming on, I did wear my Napoli strip for this podcast. Who is it? Your team in Italy? Who do you support?
Nah, we don't say it. Journalists.
Sorry, I shouldn't have asked. But you've been following football your whole life, I'm assuming.
Yeah. I do have many shirts at home. There is one there. I have many flags of teams here, but it's not something related to my team, to be honest. It's just I do have many from different countries and everything, so it's not a matter of support.
Look, just say you're a Rangers fan. That's okay. You support Rangers.
Yeah. No, I would never say a team, to be honest.
And you look like you're going to have a busy summer ahead. Are you looking forward to your summer of transfer window involvement?
Yeah, it will be a good summer. I hope to break some interesting stories, and so keep following. Yeah.
Well, yeah, we'll certainly keep following what you've got to say, and if anything more concrete comes around, we'll certainly give you another message to.
Yeah.
You can come and break the story with us.
Hopefully, I'll be back. Yeah, guys.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'll be back.
Where can everybody find you, Luca? Where are you on X? Where's the best place to see you?
Sorry?
Where is the best place to see you? Is it Instagram or X?
Yeah, I think X. X is the best place. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
What's your handle? What's your X handle?
My name, sorry?
Your
My
name,
name.
on X. What's your name on X?
Luca Bendoni, simply my name. Yeah,
Brilliant.
just my name. Very, very simple. Sorry, guys,
Right.
if I don't understand, I don't grasp.
No.
everything. Sorry, guys.
We
I'm
have a
Italian.
very
No. It's a problem of mine, not of yours. It's a problem of mine.
Same.
Thank you, guys.
Well, look, I want to thank you very much for coming on, and
thanks to you.
thank
It's a
you
pleasure. It's
for
a
telling us what you know. Just before we finish the pod, I'm just going to say, please, anyone, if you're interested in Rangers memorabilia, head over to our sponsor at offtothematchigo.co.uk and use the code Journal10 where you'll get 10% off. So, Ryan, thank you for coming on a Saturday night, mate. And Luca, I know you were very tired, but we really appreciate you coming on this evening as well. So thank you.
No problem. It's a pleasure, guys. It's a pleasure. Hopefully, I'll be back. And if anyone also following this have any question for me, I have my DMs open on X. My name is just Luca Bendoni also on X, and so you can contact me anytime. Absolutely. Thank you.
Great, Luca. Well, thank you everyone for watching, and we'll catch you again. Remember, every night is a Rangers Journal night. Good night.